Hello, YouTube viewers. Back once again on here. Really need to be at work right now, but I'm not at work right now because of the fact, man, my stomach was killing me. I don't think I can make it, but that's beside the point. Since I, on here got the free time, I'm pretty much watching videos before I lay down and give me some rest because working really hard because times are tough and rough, and man, to try to survive and make it in this world, you know how it can get. It can get quite difficult. So, got that out the way. But mainly, of course, a video response here, and my man that I'm addressing, as far as sending you this video response, I always address my channel first because my video responses, pretty much everything I do video wise, any type of video work, links automatically to my channel and post as something new. So it's kind of like my channel keeping up with what's going on with me on my end, and I'm sure that's probably the setup with your channel. I don't know, but I just wanted to come in. I noticed your course response to Black Indigo. Mainly viewers, real quick, I'm kind of browsing. This Black Indigo female, she quite the character. I heard watch one of her videos where she says she taking up to get a bachelor's degree in film. Quite the character. I mean, I'm sitting there laughing at some of the stuff. I'm like, man, but she is indeed quite a character. But that's beside the point. Man, you was talking about families sticking together, families coming first. Well, that is very true. I mean, I could dig into Black history, I know a whole lot in Black history, and of course, the phrase that I always tell a lot of blacks is to know your history is to know yourself. And of course, my white brothers and sisters, this is not, of course, black supremacist message or any type of segregation, so just want to lay that out there. But mainly it is true, a lot of blacks don't know their history. I go to a predominantly white church, and there was a comment that was made in class one time in one of the Bible you try to get so much out at one time, get tongue tied. But the statement that was made in one of the Bible study classes is the teacher was like, we was talking about family history actually, and she brought up she was like, you know what, I don't know why a lot of African Americans don't know their history. I don't really know what happened to their history. I mean, it's a lot of African Americans do not know their history and do not know where to find their history. And then when I was sitting in class and I kind of slightly looked down, first I looked up and I looked at her, and as she was talking about that, I was like, that's quite odd that she brings that up. And I wanted to comment on it, but I'm like, how could I comment on it without offending people in the class? Because I'm pretty much like the only black in the class at the time, and surrounded by majority white. So it's like, I know the truth, I know where the history went, but how could I comment without offending the rest of the class? But the thing was, I mean, she didn't know. A lot of African Americans don't know because they don't strive to seek to look for their history. But of course, it goes with the invasion of Africa and Egypt and so forth. Of course, their history was pretty much eliminated. All their records and documents was getting destroyed. Just like the Native Americans, a lot of Europeans and the French and so forth tried to wipe out the Native Americans and tried to eliminate everything about their culture and their history, try to completely obliviate everything about the culture. Just as well within the African American race and the Native Americans, the two races that got done wrong the most, but it was part of prophecy and a punishment. So I'm kind of sidetracking here, but as far as tapping into history, but up in class on it right there, I just want to come in like, don't really just want to you know. But mainly, just going back on track, man. Just thought I'd lay it out there. Is of course, you say families, start with family first. It's very true. But Jesus taught that a man's very first enemy start within his own household, and it is very true. Your first enemy start with your family, and a lot of times, where is another scripture say a friend sticketh closer than a brother. A friend sticketh closer than a brother. That's another scripture. I got it probably on my cell phone in a text, or somebody sent me that text with that scripture. But yeah, so sometimes you can grow a lot closer to people outside of your family, because your family is your main enemy. I mean, take Joseph for example. Joseph and his 12 brothers, which made up the 12 tribes of Israel. When Joseph, he was favored by his father. Joseph didn't mock his brothers. Joseph didn't appear condescending above his brothers. He didn't appear that way at all, arrogant, none whatsoever. Joseph, was just favored by his father because of the fact he was one of the sons of Rachel, Jacob's beloved. He got a lot of favor, and so did Benjamin. But the brothers didn't look at it that way. They looked at it like Joseph think he better than everybody, but when really it was Jacob the one chose to favor Joseph out of the rest of his brothers. And look what his brothers did to him. Sold him in slavery. Sold him as a slave into Egypt. So I said, a man's first enemy started with his family. And it is true. Family divided, of course, community divided, race, etc., etc. But there's really no excuse now. A lot of blacks do need to step up and realize, hey, okay, now I have an opportunity to learn. Now I have an opportunity to try to get somewhere and make something out of myself. I mean, take advantage of the opportunity we do have. And a lot of them don't do that. A lot of them too busy trying to figure out the next Lil Wayne CD or Keisha Cole, or I mean, majority up in the younger race is the young. When I say the younger race, the younger people up in the black race. But the elderly, just like that, is kind of like stick with one job, depend on the government for food stamps, something like that, and they trying to make an effort. And the elderly kind of figures like too late for them. So a lot of them, it's a sense more of laziness. Like, I'm not trying to strive to know the truth. I really don't care. And I believe it's kind of been embedded in the black race because of being in slavery for so long, being put in an isolated area of ignorance for so long. As far as being refrained from learning. If a slave tried to learn, they got the hand cut off, their foot cut off, they got whipped. If they try to learn how to read, got punished, and etc., etc. And once again, fellow white brothers and sisters, just comment on my man here as far as with him doing a video response to Black Indigo. And I can believe I'm gonna send another one, a video response to her as well. So, and another thing you brought up about the gangsters coming from Italy, which, yeah, that's where the mob came from. That's where the mafia came from. Mostly within Italia. Mostly within Italia. But, or the Italians. But if gangster came from the Italians, wasn't like the Romans, the Roman Empire fell, a majority of the Romans became Europeans. But the city of Rome is in Italy. But Rome, before it was a city, was a country. Then that's when it expanded and Italy was born because of the Italians. So kind of a mixture or fusion there. So majority Italian, then European. But Rome was a country at one time instead of being a great city. So that means gangsters came from Romans and Europeans, and mafias Roman from Europeans. Quite interesting. I just thought I'd bring it up. But that's all I'm gonna share, man. I kind of went, like a pinball off topic, but I just thought I'd share it. But peace be unto you and Christ for life.